Hello, and welcome to this introductory presentation about MO1008 Child Development. This module builds rural generalist knowledge and skill in service provision for paediatric clients experiencing atypical development with or without diagnosis and their families who are living in rural and remote communities. Participants will draw from family-centred and interprofessional practice perspectives while enhancing their knowledge and skills in developmental domains, physical, cognitive, communicative and social-emotional, assessment, clinical reasoning, client management and self-management skills. The intended learning outcome for this module is that you'll be able to combine advanced knowledge of typical and atypical child development with assessment and clinical reasoning skills to formulate and communicate care plans designed to optimise the management of paediatric clients and their families in the rural and/or remote setting in accordance with best practice guidelines and local service strategic intent. This module goes for 6 weeks with 22 hours expected workload. You can see the weekly topics here. In week 1, learn about child development. You'll identify a client for assessment item 1 and gain their consent to partake in the activity before accessing and familiarising yourself with their relevant clinical information. You'll identify and make contact with at least one health professional different to your own who works with clients between the ages of 0 and 16 years of age that demonstrate atypical development in your local area, and ask if they'd be willing to discuss screening, assessment and interventions in the coming weeks. You'll learn about the developmental status of children in your local community and child development approaches, domains and theories. Finally, you'll test your knowledge of and learn about typical and atypical development across domains in your client's age group. In week 2, assessment, you'll learn about developmental delay, impairment and disability, including the subtle but important differences in their meanings. You'll locate assessment and intervention evidence for your client's condition from the perspective of multiple professions before closely reviewing screening and assessment options and making contact with the health professional you identified in week 1 to discuss screening and assessments from their professional perspective. Finally, you'll prepare for the upcoming assessment with your client. In week 3, assessment continued, you'll undertake an assessment with your client before completing and submitting your assessment report and summary of reasoning for formative feedback. In week 4, intervention, you'll review the interventions relevant to your client using the evidence sourced earlier before making contact with the health professional identified in week 1 to discuss interventions from their professional perspective. You'll identify services relevant to your context and client and learn about the National Disability Insurance Scheme. In week 5, intervention continued, you'll discuss potential interventions with your supervisor and make a start on your client's care plan. In week 6, variation, you'll compare your care plan with evidence-based guidelines before troubleshooting the complexities of delivering evidence-based healthcare. You'll discuss your care plan with your work-based supervisor for the final time before submitting assessment item 1. Each week you'll have several learning activities that will take up to 4 hours a week to complete and includes the time you'll spend on your assessment. A single assessment task is due at the end of the module in week 6. The task is a written care plan for your client who is aged 0 to 16 years and who demonstrates atypical development. You will also have the opportunity to submit a formative piece of work at the end of week 3. This is an assessment report based on the assessment undertaken with your client. It is not marked but will give you some feedback on how you are going. We've built in some opportunities for you to interact with the content, the module coordinator and other participants who are taking the module at the same time. There are learning activities which include contributing to online discussions. This provides a chance and an expectation for you to swap professional insights with others who may be from the same or other health professions. This mutual exchange of knowledge is the basis of successful collaborative team practice, so we hope you'll join in. You'll find the module outline in the Start Here folder. It contains your module coordinator's contact information, all the details of the assessment task and marking criteria, information about applying for extensions, any module prerequisites, and the module calendar. Please don't hesitate to get in touch for any questions or concerns, and enjoy the module.